Here are the top Figma keyboard shortcuts you need to know. From adding frames to managing layers and everything in between. These are the exact shortcuts I use every day as a product designer. And another thing before starting, I will show everything on my Mac. But don't worry if you are on Windows, the difference are simple. Command on Mac means Control on Windows. Option on Mac means Alt on Windows. Got it? Awesome. Let's dive in. Let's see how to work with Figma shortcuts to be more efficient and work much faster with the tool. First of all, when you are in Figma, you want to add a frame to start to work. Just click on F and drag, and here you have a new frame. You can also use the default frames Figma has. So I click on F, and here on the right panel, I can select what frame I want to add. In that case, let's take iPhone 16. And you can see in the middle of the canvas, we have the new frame. In case you want to add a section to the canvas, just click on Shift S and then drag the section. These two are very fundamentals when you work with Figma and help you to add frames and sections much more easier to the canvas. In a case you want to add some shapes to the canvas, there is some great options to do it. For example, let's go here below, and if I click on R, I will be able to add a rectangle. When I click on O, I will be able to add a oval, and if you click on Shift, it will keep the aspect ratio. To add the text, you just need to type T. I click here on T, and here click on the canvas, and I can write whatever I want. For example, text. And another two important shortcuts, it's K. When I click on K, I have the scale tool. So I can click on any object and it will scale it up. In a case I want to back to the normal cursor, I just click on V and then I have the normal cursor. So K, enable the scale tool. With V, we back to the normal cursor. To work much more faster with text, there are some shortcuts that are very useful. First of all, when you click on a text and click on Command B, it will make the text in bold. And if you click on Shift and U, it will add another line. Now, in a case you have a list, you can select the list with Shift Command 8, add bullet points, and with Shift Command 7, you will have a numbered list. When working with Figma, we need to move between many options, and also the panels needs to adapt to our needs. So there is many shortcuts that are great to do this. I will show you the most useful one. First of all, you can move between the file and the assets panel on the left menu by clicking Option 1 or Option 2. In that case, I click on Option 2 and move to the assets, and click on Option 1 and go to the file. And if you want to manage the libraries on the left panel, you just click on Option 3 and you can manage it from here. And if you want to search something on the canvas, just click on Command F and you will have the search panel. For example, I click here Hello World and it finds for us the Hello World that we had before. Another thing that is important is work with the layers in the left panel. So if I move now to this screen, let's close the search panel. We are in the file. I click here on the frame, and there is some interesting thing I can do here. First of all, I can open all the layers in that frame by clicking enter, and you can see here that all the frames are open. I can click enter again and I go one level below. In a case I want to go one level up, I click on Shift enter and I go one level up to the point that I reach the first frame. And there is some another interesting thing. In a case I select here the header and I want to hide it, it's very easy to do it with the shortcuts. I can click on Shift Command H and I hide it, or again to show it. In a case I want to lock it, I click on Command Shift L and I lock it, as you can see it here. In a case I want to unlock it, again Shift Command L and I lock it. So be aware that it's also the shortcuts help us to understand. Shift Command H, hide and show, the H explain the hide, and Shift Command L, the L explain the lock. So it is also a hint that explain what the shortcuts does. And very important thing, imagine that you work with Figma and all the layers here are open. Let's open them here. And now you want to close all of them because it's making it difficult to manage all the layers panel. So there is another shortcut for that also. Just click on Option L and all the layers in the left panel will close. But also the right panel has important shortcuts that you can use when you work with Figma. First of all, you can take a look here. I click on Option 9 and I move to the prototype panel. And if I click on Option 8, I back to the design panel. If you click on Shift E, you can toggle between them. Now, after we saw all the panels, let's take a look about some important shortcuts when you work with the canvas. In a case you want to see all the elements in the canvas, just click on one and it will make zoom out to show you all the elements on the canvas. Another thing that you can do, if you select a frame and want to make zoom in to this specific frame, click on 2 and it will take you to this frame. Now in a case it's not work for you, and when you click on 2, the opacity of the frame changed, you can fix it very easily. Just go to the menu, preferences, and ensure use number keys for opacity are off. If I turn it on and I click on 2, you will see the opacity change to 20%, 3, 30%, 4, 40%. So you have two options here in the shortcuts. In a case the preferences of use number keys for opacity on, the numbers will change the opacity. In a case they are off, you can click on 1 to see all the canvas and 2 to focus on a specific frame. Now let's change the opacity of this frame to 100% and continue. One of the shortcuts that I like most, it's move between frames. So in case I click on N, I move to the next frame and again to the next frame. If I click on Shift N, I go to the previous frame. And one thing that we like as designers is to add rulers to the frame. But many times there are so many rulers that make it difficult to see the frame. So in that case, you can click on Shift R and turn them off or on, so you'll be able to see the interface with the rulers or without them. And remember that in case you want to add a comment, so your co-designer will take a note about something, or also for yourself, click on C and then you will have the comment tool open. You can add comment in any place on the canvas. Another shortcut that I use a lot is to change between stroke and fill. So if I select a shape and click on Shift X, I can move between stroke and fill. You can duplicate a frame or an object by select it and click on Ctrl D. And in a case you want to replace an object in exact place of other object, in that case I will copy this number 1, click here on the 2 and Shift Command R will make paste to replace. So it will eliminate the first object and paste the new one instead of. You can flip horizontal or vertical objects by click on Shift V, so it will shift it vertically, and Shift H and it will flip it horizontally. In a case you want to change the names of layers, one or more than that, you can select them, click on Command R and you will be able to change them very easy. In that case, let's change them by the number, click on rename, and we have 01, 02 and 03. And to finish this video, the most important shortcuts that I use in Figma all the time, auto layout. So I select an object, click on Shift A, and then I have auto layout. In that case, let's add a fill white background. And now you can see here we have a frame with auto layout. Now in the case I don't want to auto layout, there is a way also to turn it off by clicking Option Shift A, and then there is no auto layout. So that was a video about the most used for shortcuts that I use in Figma. Always, I hope it will help you, and I very recommend it to use it, because when you are used to work with shortcuts, you work much more faster and can complete your design task very quickly. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe to LogRocket for more design tips.